Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. It always seems like during this week we've talked about LSU's offense and when will they cross over? When will they improve? When will you see a 2019, 2018, 17, 16 offense that they finally have one? What have you made of LSU on that side of the ball through 7 games this season?
Well, it's pretty incredible. I mean, they're letting their athletes be athletes. They're spreading the field. It's really nice to see LSU develop quarterbacks as opposed to hold them down.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since we've been doing that.
You have a son who's being recruited as a quarterback. In fact, has an LSU offer. What do you see when you see quarterback? When you say quarterback development, what do you speak of?
Well, they put them in the right position. I don't think it's a very complicated offense. I think they just create matchups and they get their athletes in space and Joe does an incredible job of buying time and he's not like the most gifted thrower of all time, but he's so good and accurate because he knows what's going on. He reads the defense as well, and I just see they're putting the quarterback in the best position to be successful, and the receivers. I mean, my God, they all look great right now.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the success levels I think are beyond what anybody would have imagined before the season began. So if you had to look for areas of improvement, it's been nearly perfect, but just make quarterback perspective. Like, what do you see? Is there anything that they could be doing better?
No.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, look, and it's not just that. I've always believed that systems in college make quarterbacks as opposed to quarterbacks make systems. I've always felt that way. I think this is a great example. Joe had a great year last year, but the difference between Joe this year and Joe last year is, well, he's got a 1 year under his belt, but mainly it's the system. It's different. And, Danny Werfel is a great example of that. Danny Werfel played in a perfect system. I remember a Terry Dean playing before Werfel. He wasn't the most talented guy, but, man, he put up huge numbers. It's a great example of that. And then what makes LSU really good right now is their staff all around. I mean, you got guys like George Munoz that no one ever talks about. That's kind of like a secret weapon, just a great person and a great coach, and Brady and Emsminger. I mean, you just got to it's a great group. They're all loyal to each other. They're not fighting. It's they're all on the same page. And you guys know, T-Bob, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and actually, to your point, you mentioned Munoz. I sat down with Lloyd Cushenberry yesterday, and he went out of his way to mention working with Munoz and how his breakdowns, just how much that's meant for the offensive line and for the offense as a whole. This year, we're talking to Jamie Howard, former LSU quarterback here on Off the Bench, one of our 500.3, 94.7 ESPN. Jamie, last night Sam Darnold told himself he was mic'd up, but he said he was seeing ghosts. Did you ever have a similar experience?
No, I didn't see ghosts. I mean, I saw the guys picking it off. They were real. they weren't ghosts. No, I wish they were ghosts.
It would have gone right through them. I guess what. Yeah. So then take us back, man. Like what? You from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. When you think back on you and your experiences with Auburn, like how do you view them now?
Man, I try not to, except for once a year when I talk to you guys.
Sorry, buddy.
No, it's man. Over the years, I guess for a long time I dealt with it not in the best way. I couldn't stand talking about it. Now, you have I guess maturity and other things happen to you, and you realize how it's really not important. But it was a life lesson, man. In the end, and what's crazy, I use the negative game probably on an everyday basis on how to get through things, and
wow,
and with my kids too, because they do, they hear about it from people still, and then they'll, if they Google me, that's what pops up, and so I mean it's you try to turn it into a positive thing, a learning lesson, and with my son, it's I focus on with him is. There's things I wish I'd have done different as far as dedicating myself to the game and not playing baseball, and try to do both. But like I told him, I said I became some of my best friends in the world are guys I play with because of some of the negative things we went through. Not because of the great times, but because of the negative things we went through and how close we got and we fought together, through that.
Now that he's on the field as a recruitable dad, or a dad of a recruitable athlete, we asked you in the summer when he got the LSU offer what that was like. What's it like now in watching him, knowing that he's got this in front of him, because he's still young in the process?
Oh yeah, he's young. I think I've told y'all that these offers don't mean anything right now, but it's exciting for him. If he were a different kid, he's just like his mom. If he were a different kid and it got to his head, yeah, I'd be worried about it. It doesn't bother him at all. He's just excited to play football. He loves the game. He loves it so much more than I did. I did not like it like he did. He works harder than I ever did. He lives and breathes it, and so that's exciting that he's able to do something that he loves so much, and the attention and all that. Like I said, I think I'm very thankful he doesn't get caught up in that.
Always great to hear from you.